The humanitarian crisis in the Central Sahel region threatened to become unmanageable with more than 5 million people facing serious food insecurity as the coronavirus spreads, the World Food Programme warned on Thursday. The Ebola epidemic in West Africa from 2014 to 2016 illustrated the crucial importance of food aid in the fight against the spread of the disease, underlined the WFP in a press release published in Dhaka. It reduces vulnerability to infection through nutrition programs that target people with weakness immune system such as the chronically ill and the elderly, said the UN agency. However, throughout the Central Sahel, which include Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, the situation is extremely worrying, she believes. Millions of people will be particularly fragile during the so-called lean period between the end of the reserves of the previous harvest and the new crops. In Burkina Faso, the country which experienced the highest number of deaths due to COVID-19 in sub-Saharan Africa, the number of people suffering from food insecurity is expected to triple from a little more 680,000 during the lean season in 2019 to 2.1 million near the one that will start in June 2020, according to the press release. Côte d'Ivoire. Since the introduction of the curfew on March 24 between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., the Ivorian security forces has arrested 473 people who violated the measure, and every day at night new arrests take place. This growing number of citizens who transgress the measure taken by the state of Côte d'Ivoire to implement the curfew is asking to disturb or not sabotage, said the Commissioner, Blue Charlemagne, spokesman for the Ivorian police. According to him, the Ivorian police are doing everything to come to grips with these transgressions. He also called on the people to be civic and to cease all hints of infringement during the curfew. He insisted that the police and other defense and security forces will continue to stand firm to protect the Ivorian population. The party of President Alpha Condé won more than two-thirds of the seats in the legislative election of March 22, 2020, a ballot boycott by the main opposition parties. The party of Guinean President Alpha Condé, whose draft new constitution is at the heart of a serious political crisis, won more than two-thirds of the seat in the legislative election of March 22, boycotted by the main opposition parties. According to the results communicated by the Electoral Commission, the Rassemblement du Peuple de Guinée won 79 of the 114 seats in the National Assembly. Some in the opposition also say they are satisfied, but for very different reasons. They believe, in fact, to have successfully prevented the normal conduct of this election rejected by many of President Condé's opponents. Satisfaction also for having led the international community to take great distances from the election. These results are announced while Guinea is under the state of emergency, prohibiting gathering of more than 20 people with a curfew to respond to the pandemic of coronavirus. Zimbabwe. Because of corona pandemic, Zimbabwe reintroduces the US dollar in order to alleviate the economic crisis, which is currently raging in the country. In the midst of an economic crisis and threatened by the coronavirus pandemic, which is shaking the world, Zimbabwe has reintroduced the use of the United States dollar. 9 months after banning American, British, and South African currencies, the country plunged into a serious socio-economic crisis for 2 decades, and with an employment rate of around 90%, is reversing his decision. Vince Musewe, economist from Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, returned to the impact of this reintroduction on national supply and demand, as well as the analysis of the return of the multi-currency system, particularly in the period of containment.